It starts stream. Oh, there it is. Here it is. I forgot I'm going to need this as well for my chat. Whoopsie daisy.
Oh, Shawnee D.
I know. So many things I forgot then. Looks like we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Tech Tuesday, where the tech issues are already beginning because, yeah, I forgot that you have to press the go live button on YouTube. So, whoopsie daisy.
We've been talking for an hour of amazing stuff. We can't reenact it, so we've lost that, Sean.
We haven't been talking for that long, but yes, welcome to Tech Tuesday. We have a less action-packed week this week. Like we said last week, it goes in waves.
Yeah, we did.
Like, you know,
we're psychic.
Tech and gaming companies, could you just stagger everything, please? Last week was just chock-a-block, but this week, not so much.
Yeah, this week we'll do a Sudoku at the end of everyone, because just to fill it up.
Absolutely not. So we're going to get it kick-started, and I'm going to throw something different in there, Liam. It's one that's not on there. It's not
on there.
It's not on there. Monster Hunter Rise is available for the Nintendo Switch. Played it over the weekend, and I have got to say, I'm impressed. Like, really, really impressed. So, when I saw the trailers and everything, I remember when the trailers landed, there was loads of people like were asking Capcom, saying, this is shown off on the Nintendo Switch Pro, isn't it? It's not running on a standard Switch. And now that I've played it, it's like, yeah, I can see why they're asking it. It looks fantastic, and there's like no frame drops or anything.
Surprising. It's weird. So I don't understand Nintendo and how things are like
magic
to work, because like Monster Hunter World is it very similar to Monster Hunter World?
It's very, very similar to it, yeah.
Like, that's what, a 60 GB game, and like sometimes that struggles to run on my PC. So to make it work on a Switch is well done, whoever made it work on the Switch.
Yeah, exactly. It's like some kind of wizardry has gone into making this game work. It looks fantastic, plays fantastic, and there's a lot of content there. Multiplayer side of things is really seamless as well, so
that's good.
You know, hats off to them. They've done a really, really good job. So yeah, if you are, oh, sorry, you're going to say?
Have you tried multiplayer yet?
Yes.
You're going to play with Chris, who
yeah.
Are you going to use Discord? Because this is
that's where it's going to get interesting. Yeah, we're going to probably have to use Discord on a phone, and I don't know, use either Bluetooth headphones that can connect to two devices at once or something like that. I know you can get the splitter.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be weird.
You can get you can get a Bluetooth device that plugs into the Switch.
Yes, I've got one of those.
But that obviously won't work for. What a pickle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Could get interesting, but we'll figure it out. And to be fair, you don't really need the volume too much. It would just be a bit weird. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Monster Hunter Rise is available on the Switch. If you have a Switch and you are a fan of the Monster Hunter franchise, it works so much better than I expected it ever would. So hats off to them. Well done, Capcom. So,
I'll say one thing I like about Monster Hunter before we continue is, can you ride a horse in it?
You ride a dog.
Oh, you can ride a dog horse. That looks good, because like when you play Monster Hunter World, when you're just running there, like the beast is across the map, and you're like, it's gonna be 5 minutes till you get there.
Yeah,
that's a bonus.
It's a lot faster being able to ride. I think Palmets they're called. So yeah, it's a lot faster, and you've got this like sort of like grappling hook wire bugs. So you like it's slightly different in terms of the gameplay, and it's definitely improved over Monster Hunter World in terms of quality of life stuff as well. So
that's good.
Moving on to the actual news then. The first one up, Samsung are working on a double folding phone.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've not seen it. Have you seen a picture of it, or is it just kind of like literally a headline?
Yeah, it's just like the headline stuff. But I can't remember what company it is that did this already. I can't remember if it was Royale or what. But it basically, it would sit. It would be like a normal phone, and then it would fold out and then fold out. Like a Z. Like a Z.
Like a Z.
Z, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's not as...
and then it'd go like... I'm going to drop it, aren't I?
Okay, so that makes more... So you've got kind of like a traditional flip, I guess. You've got the one screen.
Yeah.
And then you can fold it open, so you got like a normal book. And then you can be like, wha!
And then another bit comes out from underneath the book. So you could have like, obviously, phone. And then you're like, I need a slightly bigger screen. So you'd fold out one of the screens. But okay, now like a iPad mini. And you'd be like, whoa! And it'd fold out again.
I like the sound of that.
It'll be thick.
Interested to see how thick it is folded. Like, you're gonna be carried around. You need a bum bag just for that. It'll be old school mobile phones, just one of those massive bricks stuck to the side of you.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Unless, of course, they do like the new Huawei. It's thinner
Like a rolling one. Oh
no, it's thinner on the side that flips out. So it's all the thickness and the girth is in, I guess, the main body, and then it has quite a thin screen that flips out, and it means that center of gravity is in your hand.
That makes sense. So you can sit it down as well, actually. So you can look at it like a book. I don't look at books like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I find that is a more interesting concept than what we've already got, because they fold out to like a between 7 and an 8-inch display, which is nice and everything, but you could just have a small tablet that you lug around as well, and the price is just astronomical. If you could fold it out into something that is like much bigger, and I do apologise if anyone can hear children screaming in the background. I can hear it through the headphones, so yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah,
was it yours?
Yeah.
That's okay.
So yeah, I really like that idea. I think it'll be good.
I think that's a really good idea. What would be your next like progression in mobile phones? What would be? It doesn't have to be. Well, it has to be realistic to an extent. But what would be the next thing you want to be a good thing in a phone?
I think it's really tricky. I think phones have they've stayed the course, and that's it. They're done now, in my opinion. There's nothing really. I mean, obviously, improving the spec and everything is just going to naturally happen year after year. I like the idea of foldables, but I just don't think they do enough. I have the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, and for a tablet, that's the sort of size that I want. So I guess maybe something that is a rollable display, but I always like the idea of having a small device like an Apple Watch, and then it, I don't know, projects something. I guess that's where augmented reality. So I think the next step is going to be something along the lines of augmented reality that I would like to see.
Yeah. It's weird you mentioned projection, because that's what I would want. Like, I remember, the Motorola, I don't know the name of it. It was
the Atrix
modular phone.
Oh yeah.
It was an awful phone, but like you could put a projector on it, and I think that could be really good if it's done well. Because there's lots of times there's my phone case. I've got it like that, so when I'm lying down, I can look at stuff like that. But if you could just like shoot that onto the wall, that would be good, and then it'd be good for presentations. You don't need to use it all the time, if it's feasible.
Yeah, it's basically what I want is a device that literally, I guess, is the hub. So it could be something like a smartwatch is mounted on your wrist, and all the internals are in that, and then it somehow interfaces with just screens, basically. They don't need to have all the spec and everything inside of them, and it handles everything. Man. Yeah.
He has that on one of them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I want an Iron Man suit for my next phone.
Exactly. I want to be able to fly. You said realistic. I want a flying phone. But yeah, I don't think phones are going to... There's just not much more that they can do. They've hit their natural progression. I mean, battery life improvements, yeah, that's nice, but there literally is nothing else they can do. The only thing I would say, maybe along the lines of Samsung DeX, but from Apple, and then just having that again, your phone is your hub. That could be the smart thing that's plugged into a monitor or whatever.
Fair. That makes sense.
Fair enough. And yours is projection?
Yeah, just projection, or maybe even a see-through phone. Like, I quite like the idea, or something properly bendable. Not like you bend it on purpose, but say if you accidentally bend your can you remember when the iPhone 6 came out and you would sit on it and it would bend, and then you'd be like, that's your phone. Something where it can tolerate slight, like a more robust phone, but without it being bulkier.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, made out of cling film. That's what it needs.
Wow. Liam has solved it. He has solved it. Awesome.
I'm here to help.
Boom. Moving on to the next one. This is one of yours because you got very excited.
I'm very excited about this. So Magic the Gathering Arena is coming to iOS. So it's coming to iPad and iPhone. It's out on Android already, which I didn't even realise. But it took ages to come to iOS. And Magic Gathering, there used to be a Magic the Gathering game for iOS. Did you play it? We've talked about it.
I think we both played it.
Yeah, and it's a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
I just narrowed it down. It's like almost an adventure card game, which isn't what I want. I want a competitive card game. I want to be building a deck. And I always said if Magic Gathering Arena came to iOS, it would rival Hearthstone, which is the biggest card game there is. They've timed it poorly. they've timed it really poorly because Hearthstone have just released their new expansion, Warring of the Barons or something. And the way they've done their battle pass now is much better than when it first came out. So it's actually worth buying the battle pass, and you like level up and you get more coins. So you can buy packs. So you don't need to spend money, but if you spend, I think it's £15, you get a lot more than what it's worth. So lots of people are going to be dragged to Hearthstone right now, whereas it's quite a quiet release.
I haven't seen anything for it, apart from you putting it in the notes, and then I did see an article afterwards, but I wouldn't have known about it.
I'm thinking, like, we were talking about this, like, what would make Magic the Gathering Arena the perfect game for me is if they released the codes in the physical packs like Pokemon does.
Yeah.
I think it should be doable. I don't see why.
They already do it. They did it in New Zealand, didn't they, as a trial? I don't know what.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. So whether or not that's going to roll out.
But yeah, that's out. So I was very excited about that, but I don't see myself playing it that much now because of the Hearthstone. Like literally 4 hours ago, the Hearthstone expansion came out.
Oh, okay. So yeah, very bad timing. It does seem odd that a game like that has a physical card game won't bring out online packs. I guess it's because they look at Hearthstone and think, well, actually, people are willing to just buy loads of digital packs, and what you might find is that people will buy the physical cards and then sell the codes online. I don't know, but
yeah, I feel like, I mean, Hearthstone's only digital, so and you don't need to spend any money at all. It is technically free to play. Like, it's a nightmare, but it is technically free to play. Whereas Magic, like, of course they're going to make money physically.
Of course.
So, and they're still going to make money virtually.
Digitally,
So they just not digitally. So they just don't. They don't need to. But it would be such an improvement. I think it would boost both sales quite a lot as well. But
yeah, exactly. It'd certainly make it more interesting to someone like me who gets addicted to collecting physical things. Because then it would draw me to that sort of thing. So, oh, great! I could play this online game and actually play against people, but I could have a card collection at home. So don't do it. I don't want that to happen actually, because
what would be this happened to me. I remember when I was playing Pokemon online for trading card game. I got one of the codes, put it in, and I got the what was it? The Black Charizard.
Oh,
I got that in game, and I was like, great. The pain I felt of getting it in game, being like,
I want it in real life. Yeah,
it's not even that good of a card. It's just rare. So that. Whatever.
Yep, brilliant. So yeah, Liam, very excited for that one. Even it's not in the news, but another game came across to iOS as well and Android. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered has made its way across onto mobile devices, which I think is quite exciting. It's my favourite Final Fantasy game. It's definitely one that splits the fan base quite a lot, but I absolutely adore it. It's a fantastic game. If you haven't played it and you are into the Final Fantasy series or just RPGs in general, it can get a bit slow at times, but it's a really all-round good game. And it is a port of the PC remaster as well. Now, I didn't have massively nice things to say about the remaster when we reviewed it when it came out, because it was just very, very like high-definition character models with the old PlayStation backgrounds. It just looked really jarring to play it like that. But it's on mobile. It's available now. You can't play it with a gamepad, which seems a little bit odd. So they have said it's coming in a future update, but it's not available now. Considering it's available on the Nintendo Switch and every other platform with a gamepad, God knows.
Why is it your favourite? I've not played any Final Fantasy games.
No, you
so
haven't, have you?
I know of 7.
Yeah.
And I know I've played 15, but I just couldn't get to it because I didn't know a lot. So why would you sell 8 over 7 to me?
So I always liked 8 because of the art style. It just looked a little bit more realistic. The world and the setting just felt just more fun to play, and the characters weren't quite as jarring as Final Fantasy 9 is probably the all-around most fun one I've enjoyed, but actually the characters can be quite jarring, whereas Final Fantasy VIII, I just like all the characters, the art style. Story's relatively dark without getting too childish and everything. So, and also as well, you get all your summons and you go around and you basically have to. It doesn't hold your hand. You have to properly find them and collect them. And it's got a really good leveling system. There's a lot of in-depth stuff to it, which doesn't sound like a game I would enjoy, but
maybe when it first came out.
Yeah.
Is it nostalgic for you?
Probably nostalgic. I remember when I played the remaster, just like, this is difficult. It really doesn't hold your hand. So if you're new getting into it, you need to watch a few guides because.
Oh, yeah.
Right, moving on over to you.
So Anthem director leaves BioWare. So Anthem has closed for life. It's never going to open again. It's dead. That's what closed for life means. Dead.
It does, yeah.
And the director left BioWare. So I think he was a director for quite a few games. So he's quite big in BioWare. And I'm guessing just because of Anthem, he's gone. So it feels like probably EA have kicked him out, and he's went, no,
I'm leaving.
I'm going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite a big blow to him, I guess.
Yeah, and what a mess Anthem's been overall. And I don't think this has helped recently with the whole thing of being quite public and open about the fact that they were making a decision of, do we put resources back into it to make like Anthem 2.0, or do we kill it off completely? It would have probably been much better if they just killed it off. Do
you think they were doing that to try to get more people to buy it? So if more people buy it and we're saying this, we can do it, but...
Yeah, maybe to get like hashtags on Twitter, hashtag save Anthem, and maybe just kind of getting an idea of public perception and what people actually wanted, and there probably wasn't a big enough fan base that came to its, rally cry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what a mess.
It's a shame. Massive mess, yeah.
Sad times, but...
Anyway, I'll go on to this next one.
Yeah, it's a little bit brighter. Yeah.
So, everyone watching, which game character does Sean look like? Stretch his head out a bit. Stretch it out. Who does he look like?
It's absolutely...
Earthworm Jim.
No.
He's bald. He's a bald character. Earthworm Jim was one of my favourite games growing up on
really?
Mega Drive. I absolutely loved Earthworm Jim. I don't know the name of the music, but whenever that classical music comes on, I'm like, that's Earthworm Jim music.
Okay.
I absolutely loved it. I found the humour really funny. Just the gameplay was like an almost more complex platformer. I was quite young when I played it. But a new game's getting made, and I was buzzing, very excited.
Yeah.
But it's going to be an exclusive to... I mean, before I say it, did you know what this console was?
No, I still don't.
Intellivision Amigo. So I had to do quite a bit of research.
Okay.
I say quite a bit of research. Google to what it was. So it's a really old company which had like the first talking game, the first sports sponsored game. They were like the first of lots of games, almost like the first Pong type of thing. Yeah. Really old. And then they stopped. But they've kind of like in the past 2 years, lots of these old games have had, we're going to remake a console. Another one came out, Atari. So they're doing one. And when I looked at it, I honestly thought Sean might like this because it reminded me a lot of the Dreamcast, but just with the controllers. The controllers are pretty much mobile phones. But it looks awful. The games look awful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a child-friendly one, so not one game is going to be like risque. When Earthworm Jim to me always was quite risque.
Yeah.
When I played it. And all the games they look so bad. The controllers look bad. Everything about it looks bad, and it's £250.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a hard sell.
So that's one way to like drag me up a hill and push me off, because I would pay good money for an Earthworm Jim game. I really would.
That seems so weird. That's a really hard sell, especially when you've got like a Switch Lite.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Because lots of things have been exclusives and then came out to different things.
Yeah,
like you said, Earthworm Jim on a Switch Lite would be amazing on a Switch. Like on a phone, it would work really well on a phone. It's that type of game. But yeah, that's my disappointing news for the week.
Wow.
Exciting and disappointing, yeah.
That's how bizarre. How bizarre. We don't. I don't mind like new players trying to push into the console or gaming space. That's a relatively good thing, but. When they do it like this, even like a resurgence or something, how weird. Well, moving on, Niantic, the augmented reality company behind Pokemon Go, Harry Potter, whatever it's called, Wizards Unite, have teased their augmented reality glasses. So that'll be interesting. So I guess a way to play something like Pokemon Go without having to have your phone out.
That would be quite interesting, especially if it reads hand movements. But
Yeah.
I think I would end up playing cricket a lot and accidentally hitting people.
Well, you'd be able to see them. They're not virtual reality glasses. You'd be able to still see what's around you.
No, but I'll just be swinging like that, going crazy, like throwing Pokeballs.
Yeah.
It could be really
I think it could be, especially since it's from Niantic. I mean, Niantic do a lot of crap things, but when it comes down to the augmented reality things, that is their bread and butter. And if anyone's going to do augmented reality, especially in gaming and with a headset, I think that could be really interesting. It's probably going to be a relatively hard sell because I can't see something that's going to do it well is going to be relatively expensive, especially in this first gen of the technology. So you're going to have your big Pokemon Go fans like Scott, and maybe that's it.
I think what will be difficult as well is glasses need to be light.
Yeah.
If I'm imagining like normal glasses, which happen to do VR, AR, but they need to be light, and I just don't think they would be. I imagine they'll be quite sore on the ears.
Yep.
Really bulky, so you probably wouldn't wear them outside much. You wouldn't, in my head, be able to move your head. So I want to see what it's like. I am excited about this. I think it could be good, especially for, like I said, Pokemon Go. It could get me back in if it's cheap. If it's not, which, let's face it, it might not be, I'd probably give it a miss, especially for the first gen.
Yeah, definitely. And it would be interesting to see. And in fact, I'm going to move one of our news pieces up because it links in with this. But Apple have just announced their Worldwide Developers Conference. So that's going to be June 7th. It's going to be online only. But there seems to be a tease in their announcement that there's going to be something along the lines of augmented reality in terms of their glasses. So the poster that they've sent out, they've got two versions of it, and they're both their Memoji things that they have. And basically, remember at the M1 reveal where Craig Federici did that cheeky look into the MacBook. Basically, it's that, and it's got all the icons kind of across the reflection of the glasses on both of them. So there's been a lot of rumours that Apple are working on an augmented reality headset and a consumer version of it. But all of those rumours have been years away. Like, it's not going to be coming out this year. So I'll be interested to see whether or not...
about that as well. I saw that on there. I was like, that's... And then it appeared on my phone. And I was like, so I had a bit of a read, and it would be interesting. I think if anyone's going to do AR glasses for best, it will be Apple.
And it's the natural progression of things you'd think is doing that. But I think if they're going to do it, it'll be an announcement of the tech, because obviously Worldwide Developers Conference is for software and it's for the developers and stuff like that. And when they announced Apple Watch, the Apple Watch I think was announced like 8 months before it actually went on sale.
Oh, okay.
So I would imagine that if they're going to do it, it's going to be along the lines of, we're doing an augmented reality platform, this is the kit for developers, and here's a vision of what that looks like.
Sorry, you continue.
I was going to say, but it is interesting that multiple companies now seem to be pushing for
at a similar time.
Yeah.
What were the Google glasses?
Google Glass.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Google Glass. What was that? Literally just like a little computer projection in your glasses?
Yeah, pretty much. So it had like it obviously looked like a normal set of glasses, and then it had this bit that kind of almost ringed there, and it I never got a chance to use them because they were crazy expensive, all the developer kits and everything. But everybody said, and all like the reports and everything, whether it made it look like the icons were around you and everything. So I'm really excited for the concept, and especially like I said there about having like a watch could be your main hub, and then you could ultimately, it recognizes that you're pretending you're holding something, and you could interact. Lots of possibilities in terms of the next stage of tech.
Yeah, it could be really good.
But so long as it doesn't look stupid. So I remember with Google Glass, there was the term that came up called glass holes. And it was basically what people were nicknamed because they had cameras built into them. And I think if you did like a double blink with one eye, it took a photo. And there were
double blink with one eye, so a wink.
A wink, double wink. So obviously there was a lot of privacy concerns and people not wanting to be around these people because, you know, you're in a restaurant. Once COVID's gone, you're in a restaurant and somebody looks at you and they've got this camera mounted on their head. It's just a bit weird.
Creepy.
So I guess we'll see, won't we?
Yeah, it's something to look forward to anyway.
And whilst we're on the subject of Worldwide Developers Conference, obviously iOS 15 is going to be announced in the next iPad OS. What would you want to see on iOS 15? Because I think it's kind of run its course. There's a few things.
I honestly have no idea. probably better built-in video player. I think
Okay.
the Twitch and YouTube one's quite good, but they could do a bit better and expand it a bit more. But I've got no wishes really.
No, I'd like improvement on widgets and the ability to finally move around the home screen.
Well, fair. One thing I would like, which I don't know if it's Apple or Google, but the Google widget is a massive, takes up half your screen.
Oh, okay.
And you can't just have just for Google search bar.
One. Yeah.
You have to have it takes up 8 icons.
Yeah, I think that'll be Google in that case.
But nothing.
There's nothing that stands out at me now on these that are looking good. God, it's my phone is missing this software feature now. It's really it's really tricky. iPad, there's definitely a lot more that I'd like to see it do, like have an actual proper web browser in that does the same as a desktop browser, because it's still not there. And I want to be able to plug it into an external monitor. We all know I want that to happen. And Apple are evil, and it's not gonna. But yeah, in terms of software, I think they've all kind of, again, they've run the course. There's only so much to. I do think phone companies or tech companies in general are at a stage now where they need something new, and whether or not that's going to be augmented reality glasses, or if it's going to be foldable or rollable phones, screens that start small and get big. There's got to be something new that comes out, because literally we're talking there and going, if you could have anything on a phone, what would it be? It's like, it's there. If you could have any software feature, what would it be? It's like, it's there now. So
the phone's a phone. Yeah, it does everything I want it to.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments. Is there anything on iOS 15 that you'd like to see come out? And in terms of phone, actually, audience, is there anything that you want from your phone that it doesn't already do? Obviously, if you've got a Nokia 3310, just bear in mind flagship phones, please. So, moving on. So there's been a lot of rumours that Sony will be closing down the digital stores for PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, and the PSP. And there's a lot of people kind of going back and forth over this, a lot of outrage and everything. But fuel was thrown onto the fire this weekend when they closed down the ability for people to buy PlayStation 3 games on the PlayStation website.
Bit of a bummer. I mean, is there any PS3 games which aren't on PS4 now? Is it just you just can't buy them at all? Because I remember when I got the PS4, I had a PS3 before, I couldn't play any of those games because it didn't have backwards compatibility, and I was fine with that. But even the online ones, there's very few which were oh yeah, both versions work.
But then if you have one of those old consoles like a PlayStation 3, then you can't buy digital games, or you won't be able to if this happens. If you have a PSP, and I think this is the bigger issue, if you have a Vita or a PSP, it's not as though there's a new generation of those that have come out.
Yeah.
I look now and I think we have a Nintendo Switch and we have a Switch Lite, but the Nintendo DS eShop is still live. I can still go on and buy games, and that has been thoroughly discontinued, and a new version is out. But with a Vita, if you want to play Sony's handheld, soon you're potentially just going to be cut off completely. So,
I mean, what surprised me most about this is the fact that PSP games were still on there. To be honest, I get the Vita, I get that's still on there. The PSP, I was like, wow, that's
it's a long time
I didn't
back.
think you'd be able to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing the PSP is for now is just that emulator. You can turn it into a really good little emulator, which hopefully you can still do. Hopefully, if
I would imagine so.
Browser and the online service will still work. But it's sad news, but it's not anything I really thought about that much.
No, I didn't even realise they were all up and running. No. The Vita is the one that I kind of look and go, yeah, I get that, because there is no new Sony handheld console to replace it. So I get the frustrations there, but PlayStation 3, I guess, you'll still be able to buy the physical games and stuff like that. So I guess only so. And at the moment, it's still a rumour. You never know. It might not happen. It probably will by the looks of things, but it might not happen.
It's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it happens now or in a couple of months' time, it's going to have the same reaction. So
So there we go. So moving on, this one's quite interesting actually. Apple are rumoured to be working on a rugged Apple Watch, like the G-Shock and the Casio and all of those.
I mean, should be good. I remember in the first 2 weeks when I had for Series 4, I didn't realise how wide I wore from my arms out, apparently. You don't realise that until you wear an expensive...
Yeah, and you scratch it.
And I scratch it. It was quite a deep scratch before I had a screen protector. I was like, brilliant.
Or like you carry something and you've got it against your chest, and then for some reason you scrape the watch against a brick, and you're like,
you do, yeah. It's not that thick.
mm.
I'm not shooting you, don't worry. It's not that thick, but it does seem to stick out miles when you're walking through something narrow. It does get caught really easily. So a rugged one, which I imagine will be bigger, it's going to stick out.
You would imagine so, yeah.
But hopefully...
Yeah, and I like this style of those. Anyway, it's like one of my first smartwatches, or one of my favourite smartwatches, like the Samsung Gear, Galaxy Gear Frontier, the big one with like the bezel that could turn around and everything.
It's basically, bezel is always good.
Yeah,
right? That's what makes Samsung watches good. It's the bezel. But...
Yeah, exactly. And it's a big chunky watch, and
I don't like them.
I know you don't like them, but I do. I like those things, and the Apple Watch has grown on me over time, but it's just very.
You need to take it off more.
But it's very small, nondescript, and discreet, which I guess is a good thing. But yeah, to have a decent rugged watch, and I suppose that's it. Hopefully, would move into a new type of market as well, because
I mean, it'll be better for almost like mountain rescue. I really want. It'd be good for that kind of.
That is narrowed down.
But like big rugged watches to me just remind me of like wannabe drug dealers. That's all I can think of. You know when they got the massive like.
Not like a bling watch, like rugged.
Look at you. You love the bling.
Mountain Rescue. The Apple Watch Mountain Rescue Edition.
How many people would buy it? How many toffs would go out there and be like, oh yes, it's a Mountain Rescue.
Well, there we go. You've got a brand new market right there, Mountain Rescue Edition.
Do you not know Mountain Rescue people? All my friends do Mountain Rescue.
But it's like no mountains here.
Egypt.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, but anyway, moving on. I think it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like. It might give some more upgradability, because at the moment, if I want to upgrade from my Series 4, it's like, oh, I can get one that's got an always-on display, or it's going to tell me I'm breathing. Great.
Yeah.
Whereas if you went for a rugged one, then maybe a couple of generations later, you'd go for a standard one. I don't know.
It will be interesting, because I can't imagine Apple doing a rugged thing. It's like, I can't imagine a big... So it would be quite good to see how it looks. I mean, if they make it so it just bends ever so slightly, so it fits on my wrist, you know that's what I want.
Yeah, to be fair, having that... I thought you were going back to your bendable displays that you were talking about earlier.
No, just for little curves. So
slightly, like that would make sense, because it rises up slightly on the edges.
That's probably why we hate it so much, because it is...
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
And a walk, because I've got huge traps.
Oh, well, there you go. There we go. So... Moving on, this next one, this made me laugh. So it's, Cyberpunk, they've released a new patch that fixes a lot of things. And have you seen the patch notes?
I did. I read some of them, and then I gave up.
You have to scroll endlessly. It's literally like you need endless scrolling. It's 484 issues that have been fixed, which is good. It shows that at least they're working on it, and they're patching some of these issues. But if this doesn't demonstrate this game was not ready to launch, then what does? The fact that after multiple patches, they're still fixing 484 issues, and they're still not done. They've still got so much more to do.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, it is, like you said, it just shows that they've been forced to release it, and it wasn't ready. Like, 484 issues, that's not... I mean, 100 issues, I would be like, that's a lot for a new game. Like, I get patching things like the police were spawning too close to randomly. I read some of them, and I was like, okay, I kind of get that. They might not have thought about that while playing. Like, I feel like a Q&A tester would have figured that out, but they could have ignored that. But 484 is abysmal.
Yeah,
it's absolutely abysmal. I've missed that much.
And they're not small ones as well. I was having a look through them. It's like, this is, wow. So, fingers crossed. You know what? Like I said, it's good. It shows that they are working on it. They've not just kind of gone, right, well, we've made our money, now let's move on. So they are still working on it, and that's a good thing. And there's still more updates to come as well in the future. And this next bit of news came in literally just before we went on, but they've just bought a game studio, one of their partners in...
Digital Scapes. Canadian developer, Digital Scapes. They helped with the development of Cyberpunk, so that's good. So they bought that, and it's a foundation to create a wider CD Projekt Red Vancouver team. So I think it's good news.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Like having them expands.
Yeah, and like they could be like, you fix the bugs, we can do the other things. You fix the bugs if they help develop it. And another thing which I've not put on here as well is there's been teased to be 10 free DLCs. Can you remember when Witcher 3 came out and they had
Yeah.
like they released DLCs? It's like change your beard,
Yep.
change things like that. From what I've read, they seem to be a lot like that. There's a couple of missions in there, but you can add like chrome body plates from what I've seen. So they are trying to correct the mistakes they've done, but it's just shouldn't have been done in the first place with that many issues.
Yeah, but like you said, they're having another part of the studio and having a larger worldwide base and everything. It's all good stuff, because you look at the likes of Game Freak, for example, who have just remained small. They're raking in money because of Pokemon, but they have remained such a small development team and just categorically refuse to reinvest that money into development. And you can tell, because their games come out and they run like crap. Yeah. And they never push the boundary. I know they potentially are with this new open world one, but so it's nice to see something like CD Projekt Red is expanding, and that money that they're making is going back into expansion, because otherwise it's just it's become stale.
They obviously needed more people, like before this came out, and the fact they had this team working for them or helping develop Cyberpunk, it just showed like they're being mature about it, I guess, and like we'll purchase you and you can help exclusively with us. Is that mature? Buying someone?
I think maybe.
Oh no!
It seems quite mature. It seems quite mature. Yeah. I like it.
Anyway,
moving on.
What did you say?
I said moving on.
You said, what did you say before that?
I don't know. I said.
You said boom. You said boom.
Did I? Oh, boom.
The next thing's Doom. So Doom 3 is coming out in VR, and the only reason I'm mentioning this is because I want everyone to bully Sean into getting Doom 3 for VR. So Doom 3 came out with like original Xbox, I think. It's such a dark Doom. It's like a 3D, like physically dark. It's one of the first games I played where I got actually scared by something attacking us, which was a little screaming baby, I think. So it's not. I don't. It will look awful in VR. But I really want to see Sean play in VR because I think there will be poo.
I don't think it would be that scary.
Oh, I think it would be.
I mean, I played Doom 3, and it's once you get past like the initial 5-10 minutes, it's very much just shoot everything.
Those screaming babies, not. Are you thinking of the same Doom?
Yes, I'm thinking of the same Doom.
Like the really old one. Okay, but I think it'd be funny to watch you play in VR. Don't act all macho now. I don't think I'd be scared.
Yeah, wait till you see me play The Forest in VR.
There'll be tears and poop.
Oh, definitely both of those things all at the same time as well. Won't be pretty. Will not be pretty. Yeah, so I might give it a go. It means having to set up my VR
depends
headset.
on the price as well.
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly.
If it's more than £15, I'll be like, no. Because it's a super old game, but I think it'd be funny to watch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, moving on.
And then my final bit of news for the day is possibly the most exciting news this year for me is the final Binding of Isaac DLC. And it comes out tomorrow. It's apparently an extra 40 hours on top of the game.
Wow.
Hundreds of different things. The developer has added mods, which people modded the old game, into it. And he said this is the final one, but he said that for the last one. So we will see. But it's an absolutely huge game. It's the only game I've platinumed on PlayStation.
Wow, look at you go.
Honestly, it's a huge game. It's so big, but I'm really excited about that. So I've got tomorrow off work, and my day off is going to be Hearthstone and Binding of Isaac.
Wow. And
I am really looking forward to it. I forgot this was coming out, to be perfectly honest.
So a very nice surprise then.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, it's payday as well, so I can buy it tomorrow.
Oh, well, so there you go. That's just a lovely little bonus, that.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Boom. Yeah, well, that's. I keep saying boom tonight.
You say boom all the time, Sean.
Oh, do I?
I don't think you realise how much you say boom. You even message boom.
I do, don't I? Oh.
It's all the time.
Wow. Okay, well, one of those moments where someone points out something you say all the time, and it just hits you how much you actually do.
Boom.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Wowzers. Well, that's all we've got for you this week. So like we said, definitely less than last week. Was just crazy for the news. So this week a little bit lighter, but I hope you've enjoyed as always. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, obviously if you're watching us on YouTube. And we will see you next week, 8 o'clock on Tuesday.
Hopefully more news.
We hope no, there will be loads more news because that's just
Yeah,
how
it'll be
it
too
seems
much
to go.
news.
I always
Yeah.
be like exhausted. So